The Witch of Okporo, a curse that wore a woman's face. The woman who spoke to the wind. Before the rivers ran dry and the trees forgot how to bear fruit, the village of Okporo was a place where life danced freely. Men built with strength, women laughed with joy, and children ran barefoot through the tall grass. The drums never stopped beating. The air always smelled of roasted yam and palm wine. But all that changed the day a woman with silver-gray hair, a twisted staff, and 1,000 secrets in her eyes walked into the village from the thickest part of the forest. Her name was Mama Agba. She had no family, no history, no past. Only a hut she built herself at the edge of Okporo, where the sun struggled to shine and the moon refused to watch. From the day she arrived, things began to go wrong. Something in the shadows. It started small. A child named Obina, barely 6, fell sick. No fever, no wounds. He just stared at the wall and whispered things like, "She walks without feet. She smiles when others cry." He died 7 days later, smiling with wide, cold eyes. Then it was Yuzo, a newly married woman. Her womb suddenly stopped responding. The herbs didn't work. The priest's prayers failed. She bled until her skin turned pale as chalk. The whispers began. "It's Mama Agba. She doesn't blink. Birds don't fly over her hut." And yet, no one confronted her. She was always calm, always smiling, always alone. She sold herbs in the market, spoke gently to strangers, and offered help when no one asked. But those who took her herbs often came back different. Some went mad. Some vanished. The boys who never became men. The worst of the curse was felt by the young men of Okporo. Boys with dreams of becoming hunters, builders, warriors, began to fail in strange ways. Some forgot how to hold a machete. Others would stare into fire for hours, sweating, trembling, whispering names they didn't know. Some had nightmares where they saw themselves digging their own graves, only to wake up with dirt under their fingernails. The village square became a place of funerals, not festivals. Laughter disappeared like smoke. One by one, the promise of Okporo faded into dust. And Mama Agba, she never changed. Not a single wrinkle more. Not a single hair less. A deeper darkness. One night, a curious boy named Esh, only 12, followed Mama Agba after sunset. He hid behind bushes as she walked into the forest. What he saw would haunt him forever. She stood in a circle of white chalk, her arms raised, speaking in a tongue no one in Okporo had ever heard. Animals gathered, goats, lizards, owls. And then came the children's voices. Faint, crying, laughing, whispering from thin air. Esh ran. But he never spoke of what he saw. Instead, he stopped talking altogether. He just sat under a tree, staring toward the forest, whispering. She feeds on dreams, she feeds on dreams. He died before dawn. His tongue missing. The couple who did not fear. 23 years passed under Mama Agba's silent reign of terror. Then, change came from outside. A young couple, Nana and Adis, moved into Okporo, unaware of the silent death that lived within. Nana was tall, full of spirit, a craftsman who built with heart. Adis was gentle, always humming songs that made flowers bloom. They greeted everyone, even Mama Agba. 3 days later, Adis collapsed. Her body convulsed. Her eyes turned white. Her womb bled as if she were giving birth to fire. The village watched in silence. No one spoke. Except Nana. He lifted his wife, marched to the village square, and shouted. "This is not sickness. This is a curse. And I will no longer be silent." The return of the seer. The priest, Odik, saw the truth in his cowries but trembled with fear. He summoned Dibia Aru, a powerful seer from the northern hills, whose name made even spirits bow. When Dibia Aru arrived, the trees bent backward. The wind changed direction. Fireflies circled his feet like soldiers. He walked into Mama Akbar's compound. She stood waiting. Calm. Cold. Still. You should not be here, she said. And yet, Dibia Aru replied, here I am. He blew powder into the air. It turned to blood before it landed. He raised his staff and struck the ground. Thunder exploded without lightning. A voice cried out from beneath the earth. Release us, release us. The ground split open. A dark pit. Faces began to rise, young men with hollow eyes, women holding phantom babies, children without mouths. The spirits of Mama Akbar's victims. She screamed. Her skin peeled. Her voice shifted, 1,000 voices speaking at once. Let me stay. I still hunger. But Dibia Aru raised his hand. You have eaten enough. Let the eater be eaten. And the spirits dragged her down into the pit. Her screams echoing like drums of war. The ground closed. Silence. Mama Akbar was no more. Chapter 7, The Awakening. That very night, Adiz opened her eyes and smiled. A boy who hadn't spoken in 6 years began to sing. A woman gave birth to twins after 20 years of barrenness. The yam ban that had been drying for decades bloomed overnight. Okporo breathed again. Laughter returned. Drums echoed. Life walked back into the village. The witch's grave. Where Mama Akbar's hut once stood, the villagers planted a bitter leaf tree. No one ate from it. It was a reminder. Evil can hide behind a smile. Silence is its weapon. But when truth rises, even the darkest witch will fall. And every year, on the day the ground swallowed her, the people of Okpuru gather and tell their children. Beware of those who walk alone and smile too often. And remember, karma never forgets.